KLEAN Radio starts now.
Oh, happy Father's Day, Los Angeles, and everybody across the world. You're listening to KLEAN Radio on KFWB News Talk 980 Los Angeles, our flagship station. I'm in the studio tonight with obviously not Andrew. I'm in the studio tonight with Jennifer Easy on the Eyes Jimenez.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Happy Father's Day to everybody. My God,
right,
what
not
a
to me.
Well, one day.
Yeah, no, one day, yes.
One day.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never do. You never do. I'm so honored to be here. It's been a interesting day for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you lost your father.
I did. I lost my father years ago, and he was really young. He was 47, and I'm writing my book, and so I've been doing a lot of searching and finding answers of things that he wanted to tell me. And so I was with his ex-girlfriend, almost like my stepmom, and she gave me a lot of information yesterday and today. I was at the cemetery, and then my dear friend Rodney King died today
sorry
too.
about that.
Yeah, and I know, Judah, I know today's a very special day for celebrating, fathers
but
out
it's
there.
important. He was a drug addict that couldn't get sober.
He was somebody who was dying from this disease and ultimately did die from this disease. And, it hurts. Like, I got to know him on such a deep level. I lived with him for a month, and he shared so many secrets with me. And he was a very, very kind man, one of the kindest men I've ever met, and just went through a lot of pain even before the riot situation.
Right.
And, he's like us, and I'm really sad for his family because he has beautiful kids and a family. And now we've lost another one because of this disease, and I'm angry.
Right, and it's important to share. It's like it's important to talk about the people that are gone, and that don't make it. But it's also important to talk about so many do. And I was in Mexico last week.
Yeah, how was Mexico? Like, you came back with a hot tan and a hot haircut. Did you drink the water because you look thinner?
It's a funny story. We actually went fishing, and I found out I get seasick, and my girlfriend is on the boat reeling in literally a 40-pound mahi, and in the picture you see her reeling it in and me just off the boat. So I learned I'm not a fisherman, and all I see is as I'm projectile, throwing up is the Mexican guy screaming at my girlfriend, "Don't lose the pole," because the pole is heavier than her. And it was awesome. And one of the things I actually talked to you about when we got there was what somebody had said to me. I went for a wedding, and somebody said to me they were using a few substances, let's just say. And he goes, I'm not always like this. And I really wanted to come back with, but I am.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about being sober is I am who I am. And you are who you are, which my girlfriend, who's watching the show, by the way, you could stream the show live at KLEANradio.com. She goes, Jen is smoking hot.
Oh, I love her. Tell her I say hi. I have a lot of friends watching via Twitter and Facebook, and just fans and friends and loved ones watching us tonight. And, I'm so overwhelmed with all the love and support, and especially because I'm very open about losing my dad. And, I search my father in every man I meet. I mean, and it's so lovely to be able to be loved. And, one of the things I am finding out is how loved I have been my whole life, and trying to accept that. I know there's a lot of people staying up late tonight on the East Coast that they want to watch the show.
We got tons of people calling in already.
Yay! I'm so excited.
And I just want to wish my father a happy Father's Day. Without my father, I probably wouldn't have been alive. Yeah. So I want to tell everybody out there, my father used to say, as long as his son was alive, there was a chance. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things, that you and I and, the people we know, if you're going through a rough time, if you're out there, it's going to be okay. If you're alive, there's still a chance for you. There's no chance for Rodney King anymore. There's no chances for the people that have died from this. But if you're alive, no matter how bad you're struggling, give us a call, 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. If there's anything we could do to help you, you know how I am. We know how we are at KLEAN. We'll try to get you a bed, even if you can't figure out a way to get a bed yourself. We'll try to do that. But we have an awesome show set up for tonight.
I know. I'm so excited about tonight.
We have a great friend, a good friend of yours, good friend, but great friend. And he's this awesome actor. And I just want to say before we go to him, it's funny when you interview people, sometimes you don't watch their stuff. I'm a huge fan of this show that this guy's on. His name is Eddie McClintock. He's on this amazing show called Warehouse 13. And my girlfriend's nephew is listening tonight. He's 7 years old. His name is Kent Roy. And Kent, I just call him Kent Roy, but his real name is Kent Roy. And he has a Warehouse 13 dance. Yeah, he's 7 years old, and he's this huge fan. And his mother and him, they have this, like they do it at, he does it at parties. And this is an awesome show. He plays this sober character on this show. And I remember, I didn't know anything about him, but I remember it's like all my heroes in TV shows have always been sober or drunks, one or the other, from the time I was a kid. And he's just an amazing. I know you've seen the show. It's amazing.
He's incredible. He's an incredible actor. I want to let you know that 6 Degrees of Separation. Eddie and I we did Sweetest Thing together. So we knew each other from that. And then we met in the rooms. I was newly sober and he was so lovely to me. And we've been friends for well over a decade now. And I just love him with every inch of my soul, and he's so incredible now. And I was gonna get you and Kent on to the set because I just finished doing my first movie back, and it was with
Kent's biggest crush, which is
Allison Scagliotti, and that's he plays opposite of her with her, and it's just so awesome.
It's one of the most. I encourage. Let's just get to Eddie McClintock. Eddie, welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Hey guys.
Eddie,
how are you?
Hi baby.
Hi Jen. Can I just say, first of all, I'm so grateful to be asked to do this. It's one thing that I've learned in the program is gratitude for sure. And if I hadn't been clean and sober, you'd still be trying to track me down to do this interview because I would not be anywhere near a phone. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. And probably you would never have done Warehouse 13.
Yeah, I wouldn't have kids. I wouldn't have wife. I wouldn't have life.
And he has such a lovely wife. And I've seen pictures of your kids. And I haven't seen you in a little while. I saw you and your wife last a couple of years ago. And it's just so nice to hear your voice. I'm all teary-eyed. And yes, I may cry tonight.
And happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day.
I like to check up on you, Jen, on Twitter. And I'm really sorry to hear about your friend Rodney. And Lynn and I watch, my wife and I, we watch all the, your shows. And, I just felt the same way about Rodney King. When I saw that he had died today, I just was floored because he really was, he could have gone the other way and really stirred the racial issues, but instead he really tried to bring people together, and he was really a good guy. And although I didn't know him, you could just tell. So I'm sorry for your loss there.
Thank you. Just really quick on that note, I remember sitting there and I was like, wow, I'm with like one of the most infamous person I'll ever meet in my life. Like he changed history. And I asked him, I was like, Rodney, seriously, between you and I, are you angry? Do you hate them? And he goes, no, Jen, I don't hate any of them. I don't have any hate for any of them. And I just thought, like, if that man can forgive, then why don't we all forgive like that?
And and that's the sadness of a lot of it is that this guy was, I saw him at the USC Book Expo a couple months ago. I didn't speak to him or anything. I was going to ask him actually to come on the show. But and he had just come out with his book. And it's sad, and it just goes to show you we're blessed. The three of us right now here are blessed that we've gotten it, that we were given the gift.
Yeah. And
also, Judah, I just want to say thank you. When you were doing the intro, when I was on hold, you were saying such nice things about me. I was like, man, even I want to meet this guy.
Well, because I actually, me and my girlfriend and I, we watch Warehouse. Because I found it on Netflix, and I'm a big fan of like the sci-fi and the USA shows. And I was like, because you have an actor on it, Saul Rubinek, who's one of the greatest actors that's not everybody knows enough about. And he's on your show.
In True Romance, he played lead. When I met him for the first time, I had to read with him when he was testing for this job, and I was so nervous because I was like, "Oh my God, it's Lee Donowitz! I'm working with Lee Donowitz," because that movie was so
True Romance was awesome. I smoked Chesterfields because of that movie.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, thank you again. By the way, everybody out there listening, you're listening to KLEAN Radio Live on 980 KFWB News Talk 980. The number to give us a call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're on the phone with the star of the hit series Warehouse 13, right? It's going to be the 4th season coming up.
That's right.
Where are you shooting in Canada?
In the middle of shooting our 4th season.
Where are
awesome.
you shooting in Canada?
I'm in Toronto.
That's what Judah was saying too. We're
3-hour time difference.
we should have bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're sober in real life.
That's right. If everything goes okay, I'll have 13 years January 1.
Oh, that's awesome. It's your bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
And you play a sober guy on you're sober on the show.
That's right. My exec producer is also sober, and we sat down before back early on, and I just said, why don't we make Pete sober, and because it kind of gives him dimension. My character tends to be a little goofy sometimes, and when you add that kind of dimension, I think it makes the character more respectful.
And there was a great episode where you actually had one at a 12-step meeting. If people don't out there know what the show's about, I'm a huge sci-fi fan. And I grew up watching, obviously, The Twilight Zone. It's not first-run episodes, but, 40 years after. And to me, The Twilight Zone was this amazing show because it let you think and it let you dream. Mm-hmm. And Warehouse 13 is very similar in that vein, where it doesn't push anything down your throat. It's about, that there are these artifacts out there that we don't know what to do with, so they're stored in a warehouse. And Eddie plays an FBI agent. I know I'm giving a great summary on this show. I'm a huge fan.
Good.
And this is one show where they find an artifact Eddie, where basically the whole 12-step meeting goes crazy, all right? Or it was like...
Yeah.
They're like our meetings.
Yeah, they were like real meetings.
I don't really remember, except for the fact that I had to run out of my AA meeting.
Yeah,
in the show.
Yeah, it was, and it's a fantastic show. How is that playing How is that playing somebody sober on? Have you had a reaction from people going, "Are you sober?"
I actually just I was at a convention in Colorado, and I was on stage, and there was about 3,000 or 4,000 people out there, and somebody asked me, what do you draw on to be sober for that long as your character? And I just said, because it was the first time I'd ever publicly said that I was sober. I kind of always have been taught it's about being anonymous,
right?
But I don't think there's, and I think Dr. Drew and Jen, you guys, and you, Judah, have opened up a door and made it kind of okay and brought more awareness to people and kind of destigmatized the whole process of getting sober. So,
and I think
I'm
it's also
very
sometimes
proud of what I've been able to achieve and what I achieved one day at a time. And so, yeah, I told the whole crowd that I was actually sober, and then I started getting tweets. Thank you for people asking questions, people wanting to know more about sobriety, and in the end, it's all about helping people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
that's awesome, and you're at a stage where you could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really.
Yeah.
Let's take our first phone call. We got Doc from Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh my gosh, that's my girl.
Doc, welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi,
What's going on, Doc? You're on with Eddie.
Hi, Doc.
Hi, baby girl. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Jen, I'm really sorry for your loss today. I know that there's been a debacle going on in social media in regards to it, but my condolences to you and the loss of your friend.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Well, obviously, I called in and it's late.
Yeah, she stayed up.
She's on Eddie time right now. You're on the East Coast, and Eddie's calling from Toronto, so I think you guys are in the same time bracket.
Yeah, it's a wee bit late, but I actually had called in, not only being just a fan of both of you guys, but
that's Eddie and Jen, of course.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have to say I have a little bit of a crush on you, Judah.
My gosh, Doc.
Word.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Hubba, hubba.
Oh, wow.
Any fights tonight or anything, but...
Sorry, what were you saying, Doc?
But, no, the question is, is basically when is enough? When is it enough? Like the question came up to me not too long ago of, not even the question, but more of the, what do you mean you're an alcoholic? You're not drunk all the time, and you're not living under a bridge and stuff like that.
Because it's a very good question you're asking. Basically, you're asking is, what is the definition? Because I think as a kid growing up, all of us would be in the car with our parents and we'd pass a Skid Row or we'd pass a bum, and your parents might say, that's an alcoholic. That's what's going to happen if you don't watch your life.
Yeah, but enough is not that. Enough is why you're drinking and the reasons behind it and how you can't stay stopped once you drink. And it's more about the effects of trying to hide over, hide the underneath factor that, you have a disease. Once it's awakened, you're going downward. And it may not be every single day that you drink. You drink because you want to escape. That's when it's enough. Like, that's when you realize, okay, maybe I need to change. And then, more and more happens that if you keep drinking, you keep losing things. And more importantly, you lose your spirit and you lose your soul and your heart, you become broken and shattered. That's when it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the individual, right? I mean, everybody's bottom is different. What the bum, obviously, on the street, or the drunk on the street, his bottom was a little farther. He has farther to go than, say, somebody who's trying to turn their life around. So I think there's no real measure. It's up to you to decide whether you're an alcoholic or not. At least that's kind of always the way.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same thing, and I think it's like we hear that term a lot, bottom, and it's something I realized early on was, I would go to meetings with people that had two houses, and I had no houses, and I realized, and they didn't lose their two houses, and I realized it's not really talking about a financial bottom.
No, and people get that mistaken.
It's a spiritual bottom.
Yeah.
And I was spiritually, mentally, I was dead in every way. And I was in the same boat as the guy that still had the two houses. He was in the same spiritual Gomorrah as I was.
Yeah. I mean, I have many bottoms left. I've had many bottoms. I have many bottoms left. I don't think I have another effort in recovery for me. That's the thing that keeps me going. But I know that there's been a lot of people that question that to me and ask me, is this too far? At the end of the day, why you're doing, if this is enough, and it's just.
And you have a nice bottom, Jen.
Thank you. I've worked really hard for my bottom.
But wow, hey now.
I just want to hug you.
Doc, was that good?
Eyebrow humor of Eddie McClintock.
We don't need to get into the talks of bottoms.
Yeah.
Speaking of bottoms, she's got a rad body. Let me just tell you, she's hot.
We'll just have to trust you. That's why this is radio.
Oh, go on. Yeah,
I'm getting. By the way, we do live. If you're listening, if you just tuned in, you're not listening to the Softcore Porn Hour.
Even though my commercial sounds like a softcore porn.
Yes, it does. Well, it's because you have a great voice. You're listening to us on News Talk 980 KFWB. The number here is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Doc, keep crushing away on the Judah.
I love you, Doc. Crush on me, not him.
Yeah.
Doc, thanks a lot.
I'll try.
Bye, girl.
So that's great. I mean,
her.
So Eddie, so getting back to what you were just sharing, so you've gotten these tweets now. That must be awesome to feel like you could help people now with your show.
Yeah, some young gal sent a picture to me the other day that she had gotten my signature tattooed to her foot.
Oh my gosh!
That's got to be awesome.
My goodness!
That's right. I've made it. Let the fame begin.
I love that. Wow.
Basically, what happened was she was, I was on stage and I was talking about, I was talking about, alcoholism and sexuality and, about.
What about sexuality?
Well, just about people, just sexuality in general. I got a question about, homosexuality, heterosexuality. And I said something to this girl that made her decide that she was going to come out to her parents.
Oh.
And she said that has changed her life forever. And, that's, how flattering that someone would say that. And if I hadn't been sober, I would never have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to.
What are the chances, Jen, that you and I are are here in 2012 after all those years where, 5% of people actually get the program, stay sober, and have a life that's worth living. And it's really, maybe there's something greater at work here. I don't know.
No, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that, it's funny. I was going to ask you, like, knowing you from, 11 years ago, that, like, how, you coming out and forward with the power that you do today, like that's platform that you now can help other people, not only like get more fans and all that stuff and be able to act and stuff, but now you can make a difference, and you are making a difference. I'm so proud of you for coming out and breaking your anonymity.
Right, not coming out and breaking his anonymity. And
right, of course.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm joking.
It's all about being of service, and I mean, I'm not running around. I'm not Mr. Service by any means, but
right now you are, baby.
Yeah, right now.
That's all that matters.
And with that, Eddie, we're going to go to line 4. We have Chris in Columbia, South Carolina. He's a big fan of the show. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. It's nice to be on. It's like. Eddie, I've seen you at DragCon for the last 2 years. I look forward to seeing you again this year.
What is DragCon, by the way?
I've been sober 22 years as of Halloween.
Awesome.
Nice. Congrats.
Yep, and I have to say it's like you've been an inspiration, you along with a number of other people that have kind of come out of the addiction closet, so to speak, at conventions, which has been really nice. I also, it's like, my wife and I met you last year. You were nice enough to sign the no-hate picture that you and your lovely wife took for us.
Oh, of course, I remember.
And you actually inspired us to. We actually went to the No Hate photo gig that was here in Charleston.
Ah.
And so we actually got a similar picture taken.
That's
in honor
awesome.
of you too.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, what is DragCon? I don't know what it is.
DragCon is 4 days of complete insanity.
Okay, one at a time. It's
I'm sorry,
DragonCon.
Go ahead. I'll let you answer.
Chris, what is DragonCon?
Yeah, it's a large sci-fi convention that's every year, Labor Day weekend. It's completely run by fans.
Oh, cool.
I believe we are expecting about 60,000 people this year.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of takes over downtown Atlanta.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
You'll see plenty of Ohuras in bunless leather chaps.
That's so.
I was going to say, is it safe for my girlfriend's 7-year-old nephew?
I would make it.
At night, no. At night, no. But during the day, yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
I love that.
It's a huge fan-run con, and it's one of the best in the world, actually.
I love that both of you guys, both you and Chris and Eddie shot that, and Eddie with your wife and Chris with your partner. I shot it years ago, and then I had such a great time doing it. And for them, when I shot it, I was the first person to get exposure, and it's such a great thing that we've all like united with it. And then now I just reshot it recently with Brandy, and we kissed on it, and it's just so great to like see how big this has become and how it's overtaking things and taking over, and making a difference. Congratulations, Chris, on doing that. That's so cool.
Well, thank you. It's like, and I tell you, I would not be with my wife today. We've been together 20 years as of March 10th.
Congratulations.
And there's no way she would have me if I had still been actively drinking at that time.
I think that's so important to talk about.
Chris, I got to tell you, I want what you have. Thank you for making a path for a woman like me to be able to continue. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We keep it up. Like I said, it's like just keep in touch with good people one day at a time and, walk your talk.
And then every once in a while you turn on a TV show and you see somebody on it that's
well, I'll tell you, there are other folks within the industry. I actually have a friend, Mark S., who I talked to last year at DragonCon, and he's actually, it turns out that he and I not only are the same age, but we've been sober almost the same amount of time.
Wow.
And he and I actually exchange emails on a regular basis. It's like to keep each other straight. So it's been really, really a blessing, let me tell you.
That's awesome.
Eddie, I hope
Chris, I got to run
I don't know if she's coming with you, but it was lovely to see her 2 years ago. So,
Chris, I'm going to have to run to break.
I'll see you.
Chris, I'm going to have to run to break, but just keep in touch with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. If you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio Live. That's KLEAN with a K. You can find us on Facebook at KLEAN Radio, at Facebook/KLEAN Radio. We're in the studio tonight with lovely and talented Jennifer Easy on the Eyes Jimenez, my co-host, and the awesomely talented actor Eddie McClintock. And hot. I mean, yeah, I'll say it.
He's
I mean,
a babe.
You know,
and so
by
are
the way,
you. I'm like in the middle of a
by
babe
the way,
sandwich.
Eddie did a great episode of one of my favorite shows too, which was Monk. You know,
Eddie's on everything.
Yeah.
Like I saw him, I think on CSI or one of those. I mean,
and now he's on his own.
Yeah,
and that's awesome. And you know, give us a call here at 888-539-2980, 888-539-2980. Eddie, after the break, we have a This Is Your Life type moment with the caller. It's an awesome caller, friend of all of ours. Well, the discussion continues at KLEANRadio.com. We'll be back in a second.
Are you struggling with an addiction that's ruining your life? Want to have a confidential conversation with a professional that will immediately assist you? Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs and would like a free drug testing kit and consultation? KLEAN Treatment Center is standing by right now to help those with addictions and the people who care about them. Call 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040. Or go to KLEAN Treatment Center, that's clean with a K, KLEANTreatmentCenter.com.
Welcome back to KLEAN Radio. If you would like to join in on the discussion or are in need of immediate addiction assistance, call 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Or go to KLEANRadio.com. That's clean with a K. Now, back to Andrew and Judah.
Sing it, Jen. Sing it.
I'm not going to sing it.
Come on, it's Afro Man. Happy Father's Day, everybody. You're listening to KLEAN
Daddy's
Radio
Day.
On News Talk, KFWB News Talk 980. It's awesome. It's an awesome day. I know you've had, God rest Rodney King's soul, and God rest all the souls of people out there that can't, like Eddie. We're in the studio tonight with Jennifer Easy on the Eyes Jimenez. We have an awesome guest, the talented,
and
awesome, hot actor from Warehouse 13.
And hot,
Eddie McClintock.
Eddie Hot McClintock.
Eddie Hot McClintock. Welcome.
Thank you.
And by the way, let me just give out the number quickly. It's 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980.
The hot Judah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are really hot.
Thank you.
And you're getting hotter, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like the Michelle Pfeiffer of men.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, you have women calling your show to get dates with you.
Yeah, they were my girls first.
You know how it is, Eddie.
Now they're going on the other side.
Okay. But you're
swinging.
I know.
So you're a sober actor. You're in real life. You got sober.
You're a sober dad.
A sober dad. Let's talk about that a little bit because I saw this. Your kids got you a clown today, or something. What's the tweet with a clown?
Well, if you click on the picture, it's a picture of LeBron James in those glasses that he wears. I mean, I have I'm from Cleveland.
So you hate LeBron James?
A town called Canton, Ohio, actually, which is outside of Cleveland, and he really, he really didn't treat Cleveland very well on his way out, and so I want to see Oklahoma City trounce him.
I do too.
Can I say that? I want to see that too. I did not like the way it happened. And
they just lost again, right?
Yeah, Miami won tonight. Yeah. But that'll just be better in the end when Oklahoma City comes back.
They deserve to win. They deserve to win.
But let's welcome Eddie. We have a great call right now. Let's welcome line 3. I don't even want to say the name. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Hi. I love you,
I know Eddie
too.
right away recognizes the voice.
Hears the voice and goes,
Well, okay, so let's welcome Carrie White. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
I didn't know if somebody else was on the line.
Hi, Mama.
Eddie, I just followed you on Twitter so I can get the scoop on this clown thing going on here.
And Carrie White, let's just say past guest on KLEAN Radio, author of the amazing book Uppercut, and just like one of the coolest women in the world.
Yeah,
and I think
one of my mentors,
And we just lost Carrie White's call.
No, she was she sponsored me years ago for a little bit, and I'm so grateful for her. She's just such an amazing woman. I see her, I sit with her at meetings, and we talk, and I adore her. I just love her. I want to eat her.
She's kind of considered one of the rock stars of sobriety. Kind of, She's just she has an aura about her for sure that attracts people to her. So I get it, Jen.
Do you come back to L.A., Eddie?
I'm here for 9 months.
Yeah, that's what Allison was talking to me about.
1 second, your shooting season is 9 months in Toronto?
Yeah, this year it is. They gave us 20 episodes this year, but...
Oh, wow, congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks. Well, what they do is they're going to run 10 episodes this summer and 10 episodes next summer.
Right.
So it's not like they're really giving us 20. They're just, we're doing all 20 now.
Right.
And then they'll air them at different times. So, it's kind of a catch-22 a little bit. But, hey, to be working as an actor in this town is a blessing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. How's Allison, really quick? Sorry, how's Allison doing?
Oh, she's great.
Tell her
it's so wild how our paths keep crossing. Like, I heard that she was doing a movie with you, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's called Chastity Bites. Let's give Chastity Bites a throw out.
Yeah,
out there.
I love that, and she's amazing.
Yeah, Chastity Bites.
She is amazing, and like I said, that 7-year-old kid that has the dance, who literally dances to, the theme song from Warehouse 13, has the biggest crush on her.
Yeah, I have a big crush on her and Eddie. So,
but let's welcome back to the show, Carrie White.
You know that the theme song was nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Wow.
I got it.
Like that.
My producers, come on.
Okay, here I am.
Prep me better.
Okay, Eddie, number one, I have to say hallelujah. I think it's just so valuable that you let everybody know that you're sober. I bet they all knew when you weren't.
Yes, they did. They definitely did. So I might as well.
I just think that it's so important that we are in the day and age. And Jennifer, you know how much I love you, and what a blast I had being on the show with you, Judah, and everybody. That we are speaking out. And look, I listened to the show. I've been on Twitter and Facebook. I didn't get the memo about all this family grouping going on here tonight. I just turned it on, and there you all are. I had to call in.
Well, Carrie, it's your message. It's all about love.
Well, there you go. But it is so great because people before did not have the availability to see their heroes getting sober, and I just think it's so important and beautiful of you.
Yeah, thank you. To me, it's all about destigmatizing the word alcoholic or drug addict. For some reason, there's a lot of shame that is associated with those words. Coming from the Midwest and from Ohio, to tell someone that you're an alcoholic is like, no one wants to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of it, and I think that the sentiment in LA is a little different than it is in the rest of the country. And if I can tell someone in the Midwest and let them know that it's okay to be who you are, then I'm happy.
You're right, though. We are blessed that we're in LA, and it is very open here, but it's not always like that everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from my family in Argentina. They're like, what? Like, I'm the crazy person that went to the hospital, but like, in fact, I'm the person who's better and in recovery today, and has
And most people
you're actually dealing with your issues.
Yeah, that I can actually communicate and feel my feelings and explain why.
And so many people do get, and I was saying, I was on New Year's when I was in Palm Desert, somebody's only thing of rehab was Jennifer being on Celebrity Rehab. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that they see you as a sober character on a show. And, there's something that they know that there's a place that they that they could get help now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm honored, and again, like, if it wasn't for people like, Eddie made me feel like when I told him that I was, sober, he was sober, and that we had done a movie together. And 11 years ago, I was fighting with Carrie White about how I needed to be famous and not worry. I was so empty inside.
Carrie, what was your response? Because I'd love to hear it.
No. Carrie has to keep that confidential. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. You can talk about it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Well, Jennifer, darling, you were always an open heart, though, to recovery, regardless of what you thought your priority was. We don't realize the priority is to stay sober first, and then the life
follows for us, not like we get a great life and then we'll shape up.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but you said something so key there, because and a lot of people battle with this today, and I want to shake them, but I'm shaking me, the old me. Like, it was so hard for me to understand that. And again, I went to yet another bottom, and it's like the bottoms are bottoms, but like it was like I couldn't fathom how to connect what you were saying, and now it only makes perfect sense. And I talk it, and I walk it.
Well, you never see a drunk driver say, "Here, take my keys, I can't drive."
Yeah.
That's she always has like the perfect. I got to say this. I mean, I'm sure all three of us will say this. It's like I sometimes call her Carrie, like perfect answer White, because you really do have like the perfect, like you got it. It's like you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Well,
like
you're on my favorite
female
subject.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to start calling you Carrie Wama.
Carrie Wama.
I like it. I'll take it. How's that beautiful Lynn, Eddie? Where is she? What's she doing?
Okay. By the way, sorry.
Oh no, she's back in L.A. pulling her hair out because she's got the two boys all to herself. So.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
There you go.
Carrie, I love you.
I love you.
All.
I
Thank
love you.
It's been clean.
Thank you so much, Carrie.
Nice.
I'll talk to you later.
See you on campus.
Bye.
By the way, if you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio Live. That's KLEAN with a K. The number here is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're in the studio tonight with Jennifer Easy on the Eyes Jimenez and Eddie the Hunk McClintock. Is that okay?
The hottie. Okay, the hunk is good. I like it.
Okay, the hottie McClintock.
And you're the hottie.
I'm
No,
the
you're
Judah.
you're the Judah. You're the hot.
I'm
No,
the
you're
naughty.
the naughty.
Judah the naughty Friedman. Yeah, that's great. Eddie
that's
is
great.
the star of Warehouse 13 and just tons of movies. Yeah, you're. How does that feel to go from Eddie? I'm sure you were recognized for a long time as the guy that Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Aniston loved on Friends, right?
It was.
Was it Friends?
Not Jennifer Aniston. It was. Oh my God.
Courtney Cox. No.
Yeah, it can only be one of three.
Lisa Kudrow.
Okay.
Phoebe.
Phoebe, Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah.
Lisa. Oh my God. Yeah, I totally spaced out. Lisa Kudrow.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
That's right. No worries. I was most well known as the guy from Angel for a long time, and I used to sign my name sometimes as David Boreanaz because I got so tired of being recognized as David Boreanaz. I was going to write a book called Living in the Shadow of Boreanaz.
That's actually very funny.
That's really good.
But now David, well, he's still on Bones, so in a couple of years when Bones is off, everybody's going to think he's Eddie McClintock.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now people actually recognize me from Warehouse 13, so it's.
And the fans are awesome, right? From these shows, like I know, like I mean, the sci-fi fans are just probably the best fans in the world.
They're very loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of people like to make fun of the cons and say, how do you deal with all those weird people? And to me, they're no more weird than somebody that knows every statistic of every batting average of every baseball player or every football player. I mean, it's what they love. They love sci-fi. And I mean, I've met actual rocket scientists that have come, these are very intelligent people who love what they love, and I think it's really cool. I mean, the fact that a rocket scientist would want to come up and talk to me for some reason.
I couldn't agree with you more.
6 years to get through college, so I was just happy to be in the same room.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. What happened? So you're sober. You're almost sober 13 years. What was 13 years ago like?
Man, I did a 72-hour psych eval at Cedars.
Isn't it called a 5150?
I did a little 5150.
Nice way to put it, though.
On a show called Stark Raving Mad.
Oh, really?
Which was with Tony Shalhoub and Neil Patrick Harris, and I was making money, and I had a couple years sober at that time, and I gave myself permission to start drinking again. And it wasn't the first night, it wasn't the second night, it was not the first week, but like after a few weeks, I said to myself, you know, I've been really good. I've been going out and having drinks, and I haven't gotten all loaded or all drugged up, so I think I owe it to myself to catch a little buzz, you know? And then that's just, once I start giving myself permission,
right,
then it's only a matter of time. I don't know when I'll get to that place, but eventually I know that I'm going to end up having to apologize to somebody for something. And, you know, I just said, you know, I don't ever want to do that again. You know, I walked around and did the Thorazine shuffle up on the 5th floor at Cedars, and I wore the paper slippers, and my
and at this time you were on a hit show. You were on a show that had just been picked up.
We were in the top 10. We were on Thursday nights on NBC back when NBC was, you know,
NBC.
Top of the game.
Yeah.
And the show was going really. We won the People's Choice Award for Best New Comedy, and so I was.
And you were on the 5th floor in UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And I think that's something so important to talk about, because I don't think it's. You know, people have a hard time, and it's one of the biggest reasons we encourage people on the show, like family members, to go to Al-Anon and to go to family support groups, because it's so hard to understand if you're not an addict or you're not an alcoholic from the outside, looking at somebody. Somebody would say he's good looking, he's smart, he's on this. But when you have addiction, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I had a huge thing going on today that I had to stop looking at it, and people, thank God, started fighting for it on like Facebook and stuff about, you know, what an idiot basically Rodney King was, and like how could you like have compassion towards that guy?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know what's going on the inside with people,
Right.
you know, and how they're really feeling. Like I remember back then, Eddie, when I got sober and I had met you and we hung out all the time, that like I was like happy. I was acting like I was happy all the time, and somebody at a meeting told me, like, I was smiling, and this guy was like, wow, and it was an old timer. He's like, you have such a pretty smile, and I just kept smiling bigger and bigger, and he was like, you know, I was showing gums at that point, and he was like, you must be so, and he goes, you must be so sad behind that smile.
Right.
And I was like,
It's like Tears of a Clown.
Yeah, Tears of a Clown.
Or Tracks in My Ears, whatever that song was from Platoon. Yeah. Tracks in My Tears. Yeah, and we actually had one of the guests of this past show was one of the Miracles, so I should know that a little better.
But like that's like, you know, and it's so true. It's like you can have it all, but when you don't have a foundation
Right.
and you keep filling that void with more void, it doesn't matter. You know, I have a question to ask you though, Eddie. How is it for you? How do you cope with the fact that you play somebody sober on TV and you are sober? Like I've had to really kind of learn to deal with that, you know, in my way, because I do reality shows about sobriety, but that's not my recovery. You know, my recovery is different than that. How do you cope with it? Like, does it ever do you ever get confused, or do you ever have problems with it?
No, I try to use it as a way to bring awareness to, you know, the fact that you don't have to be a bum, you don't have to be, you know, laying on the street in tatters to be an alcoholic and
Right.
or a drug addict, and you know, I try and make it a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never kind of see it as a negative thing because I've always thought it's saved my life.
Yeah, and your character is Pete, correct?
Yes.
Do you ever get Pete confused with Eddie, because there's two sober things going on?
I think they're very similar, though, because the way you are on the show and the way you are on the phone, you seem extremely similar.
And sexy.
It was almost like the character was written for you.
You know, my exec producer and I are so close, and he knows me so well. And I got to tell you, I'm not a good enough actor to try and fool the audience. That you know, the television audience is a pretty sophisticated group, and you know, if I tried to fool them by playing at some character, I think they would get tired and turn the show. So I basically just try and bring who I am to the show, and I don't try and lie about who I am with Pete, and I think that Jack writes to that as well.
That's great.
And Jack is you were saying
writer.
Jack is the sober. He's
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, we have another call. Let's take Debbie from Morristown, Tennessee, Motown.
That's my baby.
And Jen helped. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hi, y'all. How's it going, Brat? You were going to help her.
Yeah. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Debbie.
Debbie, why don't you tell them the good news? Judah, do you remember the conversation
Yeah, of course.
with her?
I offered her a free bed, and I never got a call.
Judah?
The good news, I have 91 days today.
Oh, that's awesome, Debbie.
Woo-hoo.
So proud of you.
It's crazy because I never thought, 3 years ago that I would ever get to this point. But Eddie talking about getting a girl got her name tattooed. I should get Jen's name tattooed too across my backside because it's not for her. I know exactly where I would be today, and I would be dead.
Okay, I've thought about getting a Jen tattoo too, but you know when they say no major changes in your first year of sobriety, tattoos is one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, I have 2 already in my first year of sobriety.
Okay, so
you do what you need to do as long as you don't drink or use.
3's a charm. That's exactly right. Go full sleeve and move out to L.A. So Debbie, so you have 91 days. What happened? Because I remember a year ago you called us up.
We fight, her and I, on Twitter
and
Facebook.
You weren't doing too good. What changed? Debbie? Okay,
what changed is that she didn't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, that's she wants a Jen tattoo.
No, she'll be calling back somehow.
Yeah, we're having a little, obviously technical snafus. So let's get back. This is 13 years ago. You're basically in UCLA. You got 5150, as Jen politely said, which to anybody out there is you got committed.
Yeah.
And,
don't worry, I actually got in a car chase after my 5150.
And you got the gift while you were there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, actually, honestly, I think I got back out and still continued to experiment because I was filled with, ego about, living a television star lifestyle and being able to go out to clubs in L.A., And look, one day on New Year's Eve, I had some drinks. Some buddies and I said we were going to lie to our friends up in L.A. and not tell them that we drank. And I woke up the next morning and I just said, look, I can lie about a lot of things, but if I start lying about my sobriety, I'm going to end up dead. And I truly felt that if I lied about that, eventually I would be dead. And so I said, I called my buddy who was sponsoring me, and I just said, hey, I went out last night, and that was it. I've never gone back.
That's an awesome story, and I think it's so important that you're talking about that because I think so many people are ashamed. Mm-hmm. Are ashamed to come back when they relapse, or ashamed
or think they can keep getting away with a lot.
And I heard somebody say a long time ago, you can't save your face and your butt at the same time, and they said it a little differently, but you can't, and you have to save your butt.
Well, my friend who I was drinking with that night, he's never gotten it, and his life is a disaster.
Right.
And it's so hard to watch, Yeah. And he was mad at me because I told the truth and basically exposed him at the same time.
And you left him.
But
you're his running buddy in a sense, and that's one of the people don't realize that sometimes it's hard.
Eddie, what has been the hardest year for you in sobriety?
The hardest year?
Mm-hmm.
What year are we in now?
Excuse me. There was, I guess there was a year there when I was going out every 6 months because I had my friend. Remember Stevie, Jen, Stevie, with the little soul patch under his lip.
Yeah.
Anyway, he and I were best friends, and we fed off one another. He would have time, and I would convince him, and I would have time, and he would convince me, and I don't know, I guess, call it divine intervention. I don't know. Whatever it was, I just said, I'm done trying to figure out ways to continue to get loaded. You know, it's like, okay, I won't drink beer, I'll just smoke pot. And then, okay, I won't smoke pot, I'll just have beer and maybe some pills. And then, I mean, I tried every combination, and none of them worked ultimately. And I had to, you know, not to use an AA term, but I realized, you know, I'm powerless over this.
Right.
And it affects other parts of my life. You know, I mean, it's just my brain, you know. It's like if I like something, I will use that until it's just a shell of a carcass, you know, whether it's food, drugs and alcohol, you know, whatever. If it makes me feel different or better, or takes me kind of out of who I am, I'll abuse it. So I have to check myself in a lot of different areas.
Which is a very interesting, you know, I used to, I remember I'm a New York Giant fan. You're probably a Brown fan. But when the Giants had Kerry Collins, who was a sober quarterback, you know, he had so much trouble. And I used to wonder, and it was a big reason I wanted to do this show. It was like the night Dwight Gooden, I thought he was sober at the time, pitched a no-hitter. How do you, you know, John Larroquette is famous for, in his Emmy speeches, thanking Bill W., and he had a whole show about AA, basically. How do you react to the highs? You know, because we're good with reacting to the lows. But how is it when they said, Eddie, you got Warehouse 13? Like, what was your reaction? How did your sobriety, you know, save you or, you know, help you out?
Good question.
You know, there's an underlying reason why we drink and use, right? And for me, there's that voice in my head that says, you're not worth it, you're not good enough, why don't you just go ahead and use, no one believes you, no one likes you. I mean, and I don't know why that voice is there, and sometimes it's louder and sometimes it's not, and it seems as though when I'm staying close to the program, when I'm hanging out and talking to other alcoholics and being of service, the voices are not as strong because I feel good about who I am and the things that I'm doing. Like I realize that I'm trying to help people, and it's not just about me being selfish and self-serving. You know,
Right.
So when something good happens, I just say, you know, a lot of times it's like, well, something's good is happening. Why do I need to go to a meeting? Everything's good. Well, there's no better time to get close to AA than when something's good.
Great, yeah.
Because, you know, sure enough, as soon as something good happens, I'll self-sabotage it, and because I'm more comfortable feeling bad about myself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's breaking the pattern.
So I always just try and, you know, all my friends are sober. I met my wife at the log cabin, you know, when I met Jennifer. And
so basically your whole life has been crafted by sobriety, which is a really cool thing. You know, you met your wife, you know, you have these amazing kids and you have and everything is, it's pretty cool. You know, it's like giving you almost a grounding.
And again, he has such a great wife.
Yeah. Eddie, we're running out of time.
Plumbing over at the house.
What? Sorry?
I've got indoor plumbing over at the house.
That you actually use.
Yeah.
And
I don't have to go outside anymore.
Right. Eddie, we're running out of time.
I love you, Eddie. I want to see you and Lynn.
Thank you so much for coming back. So thank you so much for being on the air with us. And I was hoping that just want to invite you back when you're back in town. I would love for you to come live into the studio.
I would love it. I'd love anything I can do to help you guys. And Jen, I worship you.
I worship you too.
Keep on keeping on. I mean, I turned on like CNN. I was in my trailer here at night, and I turned on CNN, and there you were with Dr. Drew, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you. Which I will be on tomorrow too.
And on July 23rd. Everybody tune into the Sci-Fi Network because Eddie will be on, and there he will be on Warehouse 23.
July 23rd.
Warehouse 13. What's wrong with me? Because I watched the show. Warehouse 13, please. And Eddie, thank you again.
I love you, Eddie.
Thank you, man. I can't wait to meet you in person, and you guys take care. And I'll too.
For sure. Have a great night. We're running out of time. I just want to wish a happy Father's Day to an amazing girl. Joe Gugliotti, Joe Googs, is you raised an amazing daughter. I want to thank Patrick, who does all the video. Steve, who does all the amazing video. I want to thank Caroline for helping out. I think it's Jesse, who is behind. Mike is behind the board, and it takes a lot of people to put on the show. Yeah. And I just want to wish everybody out there happy Father's Day. Jen, you're beautiful. You rock.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Right back at you, kiddo. And the discussion continues. Let's thank Eddie McClintock again. Yeah.
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, Judah.
And,
thank you. You're amazing. You keep this going.
You got it. To all our fans out there,
love you
we have
guys.
an awesome guest next week. Lee Steinberg will be in studio. Lee Steinberg, Jerry Maguire. The discussion continues at KLEANRadio.com.
Are you struggling with an addiction that's ruining your life? Want to have a confidential conversation with a professional that will immediately assist you? Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs and would like a free drug testing kit and consultation? KLEAN Treatment Center is standing by right now to help those with addictions and the people who care about them. Call 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040. Or go to KLEAN Treatment Center, that's clean with a K, KLEANTreatmentCenter.com.